We are going to be 10 billion by 2050. We are going to live on a planet 4 degrees hotter. We are going to have more mouths and less food. We are going to have less land and more pollution. But we crossed oceans and we defeated diseases. But we went to the moon and we blossomed the desert. Because we are innovators. We are farmers. We are makers. We are dreamers. And we are going to gather and discuss, create and inspire minds and souls. Because we are feeding our future.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Filippo Perigo. In the last century, agriculture has continuously increased. We produce more food than ever before. But our current model is unsustainable. The world population is rapidly approaching 8 billion people. Consequently, the demand of food will continue to increase. And the methods will need a radical transformation to keep up. Luckily, there's a range of new technologies that might make it possible. 3D food printers are one amongst these. What we described as future is now present. What we thought was impossible, we can now touch with hands. Machines that print, cook, and serve foods. But they don't just limit to this. It is believed that 3D food printers could potentially improve the nutritional values of meals, produce sculptures of everyday food, and most importantly, tackle the issue of hunger in regions of the world that lack access to fresh and affordable ingredients. This is what I believe is innovation.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Melanie Sänger from Germany, from the young startup Print to Taste. And thanks for the invitation to speak here about 3D food printing. And I will talk about how we can personalize our food with this new technology. So as I have the first session here, I start with the question, what is 3D food printing? And when we had our first prototype and we were in a bakery fair, there was one confectioner from Munich, and he said, of course, 3D food printing is the natural evolution to handcrafting, because first we did everything with our hands, now we have some molds, and now then we had these photo printers, and now we're doing 3D food printing, and he immediately bought one. And yeah, how does it work? And you see, every one of you already used it. It's more or less like a pastry bag. And layer by layer, the food is brought in the shape, whatever you like. And it's done automatically and very precisely. Yeah, we don't wait for the layers now. And then we come to the question, why shall we use 3D food printing? And there are already systems available today, and many of them are for the creative and personal creation of food. And as pictures say more than words, I just show you some applications we may have, which are from logos. You can print on whatever you like. You have new experience of logos. You can do like little text messages. You can also bring the personal handwriting onto cakes or whatever you like. So even if you can't use a pastry bag, everyone can write on a tablet. And so the printer transfers it really in the shape which is written there. Of course, 3D printing, 3D objects. And what's nice about it is that most things that are really created and built new, there are 3D files available, because if they construct a building like that, they will have it in 3D file. And in this case, this is the Upper West in Berlin. They had a rooftop festival, and they said, whoa, we want to have a special gift. We want to make our building somehow differently feelable, and they wanted to have like one little skyscraper for every guest coming to the rooftop fest. So we made 450 of them and presented the technology there. Yeah, then just some more buildings and some chocolate. You can use shapes, make shapes, what you are not able to do in a different way. And even if you have you could use a mold, but you need a mold for everything you want to have. So here, with this technology, you're really free to have just one piece of anything, and then you don't need molds for it. Then we have here a little serious production, because we are now facing confectioners and also high-level caterers and restaurants, and of course, it's still very, the technology is not fast yet. And one little solution for it might be just printing small objects with which you can really personalize, for example, events. And here's one video. There can be drawn 50 little mini pralines out of one cartridge without doing something on it. So the caterer can really make little objects for the occasion. Oh. Yeah, and then then we have an application. I want to show you, it's the 3D selfie. It's my colleague Sebastian. And when we were lucky, because Barack Obama was the first president who was 3D scanned. So we found his bust on the internet and, of course, printed it then. You can have, of course, put couples together and have really romantic views then. And you can even 3D scan a whole bridal couple, which is really liked by the confectioners. You see them up there. They married last October, and when they had their testing day, we 3D scanned them. You see here, the 3D scanner is really easy to use. It's just a 3D camera on an iPad, and you just surround the person you want to scan. In case of the bust, you just have to go around once. Here we have to go around twice to also catch the dress. And then they are scanned separately, so they do not see each other, and then they are combined. And here you see the printing. In order to have high precision also in the face, and if you print really high, it might move. So the model is cut into pieces and modeled together afterwards. And so they had a very nice experience when they married in last October. So you saw a lot of marzipan and choco now, because these are our first food products. And we do produce our foods and bring them to the customers, because we recognized that it's really hard to get the right consistency all the time. And there are differences. For example, the potato puree, which you see up there, that's a quite easy material. You can let it through a sieve, and then the customers can do it themselves. We are now working on cassis puree for plate decoration, for pasta and fondant. And here you see how you can decorate plates with cassis puree. And that's one of our first pasta prints. Here you see the poor guy cooking, but yeah, it's only pasta. And yeah, that's summarizing. We have this 3D food printing system, which consists of the printer and also this easy-to-use interface in order really to let professionals without knowledge of IT or 3D programming really use it easily. Then we have this food products which are optimized for the process, and yeah, that makes it universal. And we sell it now often to bakeries, confectioneries, and also high-level catering. Just for end consumers, it's little maybe too expensive, and the plan is really your confectioner around the corner has a 3D printer like that, and you can go there, let yourself scan, or have any item you want. Yeah, so today we have it for the creation of food, and before I come to tomorrow, I want to show you our little image video as it summarizes the system and also shows a little of the background, what is necessary.
3D food printing is a disruptive technology to create food automatically and without any limits. The key factor behind successful 3D food printing is the total control of all food components. This is the core competency of Print to Taste. With Boccosini, Print to Taste offers the first complete plug-and-play solution in the world. It consists of specially optimized food products, the printer, and a web platform. With our wide range of 3D printable foods, we enable multiple applications in professional kitchen and in confectionery. Print to Taste combines a team of food experts, device experts, and a network of IT specialists who jointly develop solutions for personalized food. Several business cases are already making money for our customers. It is our conviction that creative food designs are just the beginning of a much bigger story. Desires and needs are just as individual as people are. We want to create the market of personalized food. Together with you, we will take food to the next level.
Yeah, so I think that this personalization of shape, which we have now, is on the one hand side a perfect thing really to open the minds of the customers for this technology. So they see it's no harm, it's just like a pastry bag, the food that goes inside is as good as the food that comes outside. So. Yeah, and for us as a startup, it's of course a possibility to earn money, to get into the market, in order to also work on our visions, which goes in the direction of personalized food. I started with 3D food printing in a European project of personalized food. And for me, I'm convinced that this technology will enable really the production of personalized food, which is also economically feasible, because that's also an important fact. And you saw in the video there are everyone is different, from gender, age, maybe your status, pregnant women, your activity. But there are also, we are learning more and more about genes and the microbiome. So what's inside your stomach and stuff, it's really influences how you metabolize the food you eat. And so we're learning there, and this can also be taken into consideration when the food is personalized. For personalizing food, of course, you need different technology multiple heads. You can imagine if you have several of these heads and there are different nutrients inside, you can just put them together according to the requirements of every individual. And I think, and Obama also talked about this personalized medicine, and I'm convinced that this personalized food will just evolve as the personalized medicine does today. And last but not least, this technology can also contribute to sustainability by different ways. One example is, for example, you can use plant protein and restructure it with this technology, making little strands in order to get a consistency which is very similar to meat. We are a spin-off of the University in Weinstefan-Triesdorf, and we run some research projects on this as well, and the results are really promising. So I want to thank you for your attention, and I'm available for your questions.
My name is Jordan French. I'm a Fast 50 and Inc. 500 entrepreneur. Got my start as a biomedical engineer coming out of Vanderbilt University, working for NASA's Mars Gravity Biosatellite program up in Cambridge, Massachusetts. What we were looking at was bone loss rate. Bone loss rate in mice, which you could extrapolate over to humans on missions to, for example, Mars or other deep space missions. It turns out that humans on their way to distant locations like Mars and other planets undergo osteoporosis. They lose bone. One of the benefits of that is we get a 9-foot vertical when we jump in a microgravity environment, 1/3 of Earth's gravity on Mars. One negative side effect of that is that when you return to 1G, or Earth's gravity, you crumple, right? When you return. So NASA's conclusion was, when we send people out into space, they don't come back. So a second problem resulted, and that was, how do you feed people on their way in a deep space mission, and once they get there, right, to another planet like Mars, what are they going to eat and how are they going to eat it? And popularized in a recent movie, The Martian, and a book of the same name, the conclusion that we all know colloquially is potatoes. Well, that's wrong. What we will do is 3D print that food. So following my research and work with the Mars Gravity Biosatellite program, came a later proposal from a man named Anjan Contractor. He's a co-founder in our company, BHEX, 3D food printing, and he invented, Anjan Contractor invented NASA's first 3D food printer, a very lightweight, very fast device that departed from traditional 3D printing technology to use a pneumatic system, much like a piston, air-driven, to print any range of viscosities from as low as 5 psi, almost like water or a sauce, all the way up to 150 psi, much like a firm bicycle tire. And why? Because food is complex. It can be multi-layered. When NASA asked the astronauts what type of food they wanted to eat, they listed 5 things. And Italians love them: pizza, 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 and pizza. So popularized for BHEX and our project, the media got attention of this and said, NASA is 3D printing pizza for astronauts in space. Well, that's true, but it turns out there are many other benefits to that, including personalized nutrition, which we'll get to, and the necessity, and some of the cool applications we'll talk about today. The other is the speed that we'll talk about. And what I want to do first, though, is show you what we're up to and that background with NASA, and then also where we are today. And I brought a video with me to demonstrate that. So let's take a look. So very cool, right? And very, very fast, right? Which matters. We can print over a range of viscosities, right? And print, for example, with a pizza, a dough layer, a sauce layer, and a cheese or a protein layer. Why is that important? Because a variety of foods is needed in one's diet, and personalization ultimately, despite the novelty and the excitement of watching 3D printing, is the direction that this entire field is headed. And we'll get to that more in detail in a moment. On to the novelty. The first thing that you see, it's much like watching fire, much like watching any new technology. For us, we go to events and we get paid to demonstrate. Later this year, we'll be at World's Fair USA. We'll be at Edit Expo in Toronto, 100,000 people. We'll be at Food Loves Tech in Brooklyn, New York. We'll draw massive audiences, massive media attention, as we always have, to demonstrate and show this technology. Much like a Star Trek replicator or the rehydrator from Back to the Future Part 2, these films. People were able to push a button and get food out. And not just pizza, but cookies with frosting, whole cakes vertically, chocolates in some cases, and we'll see a few photos of that in a bit. It's the excitement. Excitement lasts a lifetime. So these are some of the examples. Some of the cooler applications more recently, right, is with more difficult ingredients to work with. It turns out a robot is pretty agnostic to which type of doughs or batters that you use. So this delicious looking picture here on the top right is not a traditional dough. That's actually cauliflower, gluten-free, dairy-free, something notoriously difficult to work with by hand and sticky. Some of our best pizza doughs, and we'll get to the people who have worked with us on our recipes and taste, which is critically important in food, taste. We'll use ultra-high hydration doughs, performance doughs, the type of doughs that you would see in competition for making cupcakes or cakes, desserts, or even pizzas. And here you get a few examples of what all of that looks like. So our approach in working with the military apparatus, working with NASA, is ultra-personalization. We're entering and already in a world where a lot of data is stored in and on your body. Let's say all of us go for a run, exercise in the morning together. Our bodies, at the end of that run, deplete different nutrients and minerals at different rates. For example, one of you might burn through more of vitamin B1, another more of B2. Perhaps I'm an oddity, and I deplete selenium. Well, it's possible, and what we do is print recovery bars for people after that run based off the individual nutritional needs, based off that data. Because ultimately, any of these devices, these Fitbit-style devices that are coming and are already here, have that data collected, and they're computers. And our 3D printers are ultimately a computer attached to a robot. Those computers are able to communicate with each other, and our computer is able to tell the robot which inputs it needs. So the B1, the B2, and for me, the additional selenium. We might get an identical tasting food bar, like recovery bar after that run in the morning, right? But get the exact specific nutrition that we need, that we depleted on that run earlier in the day. And ultimately, it's not just personalized food, it's personalized nutrition that we're getting, and a focus on performance. And we'll get to that bit in a second. Some of the problems that we're solving, kind of interesting and wide-ranging, right? So some are as simplistic and basic and money-saving for some dessert brands out there that are otherwise shipping in little frosting toppings for their desserts, or we're printing them for them, bringing that machinery in-house, right, to right on the top of those cookies, frostings, or cupcakes, print those foods, those toppings. Some novelty, but lots of cost savings. Second, our work with the military is most exciting. One of the military's biggest problems is what's known as the MRE. It's a personal food unit that has a lot of water weight, right? Water is very, very heavy, it's dense. And military units will carry from a base to a forward base all of this heavy food. Instead, our deployments carry a 3D printer, ultra lightweight, like on a backpack. And with that, just powders or other basic foods. And we can print real foods, real doughs, real sauces, real cheeses, real batters. And bring the dry ingredients with them. Where water is readily available, reconstitute it, and then because it's a printer, have a wide variety of food that is much less weight. So the soldiers are able to sustain it for a much longer time out in the field, get more done, more defenses. It wins wars, has an impact. There's two examples there. Additional really wild and fun examples. So Jose Andres, famous chef, Michelin starred, working on lozenges for people with throat cancer. They can't taste anything. So what we do is 3D print a lozenge. Inside of it is intense flavor. And that flavor explodes at the bottom of the throat. And people who cannot otherwise taste anymore because they have throat cancer can again taste because of that flavor profile that's released from the 3D printed lozenge. Amazing difference, increasing quality of life for people who have throat cancer. Additional sports teams, including in football. This is Marquez Colston of the NFL, the New Orleans Saints, former player, playing. From our earlier example with our run, I have depleted selenium, another with depleted vitamin B1, another with vitamin B2. Well, on the field, in a game of inches, every little bit of nutritional impact and energy impact that you can have matters. So on the field, before the game, during the game, in real time, collect data from the player's body, communicate that to the printer, and inputs come from specific different nutrients that not any player needs, but that individual player needs, and gets compensated with fresh food that has specific minerals and vitamins for that player, matching what that player depleted over the time from the start of that game to the end. So how does it taste ultimately? This is really what matters. Most of us are not on sports teams. Most of us are not Olympians or perennial runners. Most of us are not out floating in outer space where there's very limited selection, or a military unit out in a forward base where you don't have a choice. So we've worked with some very talented people in the food space, specifically where we wanted to popularize and perfect the pizza. Worked with Chef Pasquale Cozzolino, Napolitano, who is now based in New York, Ribalta, best known for the pizza diet, and author. Helped us make some absolutely delicious pizza. The toppings we add using a CNC machine robot, much like an arm, and a RGB sensor, so it's a color sensor, and it identifies what food is from another and the differences, and then places that atop the pizza for toppings. The otherwise, the dough layer, sauce layer, and cheese layer is printed. We can do that in 60 seconds, and then we bake it. That's an example of some of the pizza. Jim Grody of Donato's, famous pizza chain and food chain in the Midwest United States. Tom Lehman, the dough doctor, we've worked extensively on dessert batters, perfecting that, and the rheology, right? The viscosity, the surface tension, everything that goes into printing food. And of course, I mentioned earlier Jose Andres with the lozenges, for the people with the throat cancer, and other exciting medical applications. So here's some examples. I know a lot of you probably saw Barack Obama and the notoriously difficult to print chocolate. Chocolate is particularly difficult to print. One of the reasons is very narrow temperature band for being able to apply something. We're still able to do that. What we did here was pull a JPEG, like a photo file off the internet, and 60 seconds later, print that out. Doesn't take an hour, 2 hours, very quickly, and that's because of the pneumatic system, the piston-driven system that uses air pressure rather than a physical push, like a syringe, to print the food. So I hope you enjoyed my talk today. Look forward to your questions. I'll be taking interviews after. This is my name, and this is how you can reach me. Thanks again.
Buongiorno, buongiorno a tutti. Innanzitutto non so quanti di voi mi conoscono, mi hanno mai visto, probabilmente nessuno. E quindi oggi vi racconterò, ne approfitterò per raccontarvi la storia non mia, ma di un'idea, la storia di un percorso che ho fatto insieme a delle persone. Questo percorso passa dall'agricoltura, infatti dici siamo qui anche per questo, questo percorso passa dall'agricoltura per arrivare all'industria. Quindi l'idea è quella di risolvere tutti i settori industriali a partire da materie prime di scarto agricolo, ancora in maniera più precisa a partire da materie prime locali e quindi chiudere la filiera in zone che producono scarti e che hanno necessità di quegli scarti per produrre nel particolare materiali termoplastici. I principi che abbiamo rispettato per sviluppare questo modello di business sono questi tre, sono semplicissimi e l'idea era quella di sviluppare materiali quindi a partire da scarti che potessero essere riciclabili, che dovessero essere biodegradabili 100%, ma la cosa più importante, questa l'ho scoperta solo lavorando, è che i prodotti, i materiali dovevano essere economici. Questa era la cosa più importante. Questa è una slide che a me piace questa slide perché ci dà un'idea dei materiali prodotti in un anno sul pianeta. E l'unità di misura sono i miliardi di tonnellate e potete vedere come abbiamo molti metalli prodotti in un anno e relativamente pochi, ma comunque molti di più dei polimeri vegetali, abbiamo relativamente pochi polimeri petrolchimici, è quelli che noi chiamiamo plastica. Plastica non è un sostantivo, è un aggettivo qualificativo. Plastica. E quelle che chiamiamo plastica sono più tecnicamente chiamati polimeri petrolchimici. Benissimo, questi costano poco perché hanno una temperatura di fusione bassa e allora si possono produrre in quantità. Il problema è che i polimeri vegetali costano tanto, non tanto perché hanno temperature più alte di fusione, che sono più o meno le stesse temperature, intorno ai 200 gradi, ma perché sono bio-based e le materie prime per produrre questi polimeri sono costose. C'è un numero intero importante che vedete rispetto agli altri decimali. Ci sono ogni anno nel mondo prodotte 27 miliardi di tonnellate di biomasse, una quantità enorme. Di queste 27 miliardi, 5,5 miliardi, che è scritto lì piccolo, ovvero quasi 3 volte i metalli prodotti in un anno sul pianeta, sono gettate in campagna, per strada, a mare. biomasse di elevatissima qualità. Allora che abbiamo pensato? Abbiamo queste biomasse che la gente non valuta, perché sono delle materie prime, potrei raccontarvi, possiamo produrre da coloranti a emulsionanti, a fluidificanti, a stabilizzanti con le biomasse. Di tutto quello che serve nell'additivazione sia dei materiali termoplastici ma anche del food, dei materiali del food dell'alimentare. Allora cosa abbiamo fatto? Abbiamo pensato, ci servono dei polimeri vegetali più economici. Bene, abbiamo queste biomasse, mettiamole dentro i polimeri vegetali e rendiamo il polimero vegetale leggero, economico, ma soprattutto bello, perché noi abbiamo utilizzato una biomassa che deriva da uno scarto di filiera agricola, quindi adesso ve ne farò vedere qualcuna, che ha un colore identificativo, una finitura superficiale identificativa e delle meccaniche ben precise. E quindi avremo il fico d'India, avremo il melograno, avremo il carciofo, ognuno di queste biomasse, ognuno di questi scarti di lavorazione, avremo la sulla arancione, bellissima. Dalle arance avremo in Sicilia 3 scarti. Avremo lo scarto dell'arancia rossa che cresce in una vallata alle pendici dell'Etna, solo lì perché la notte porta freddo, grande differenza di temperatura fra il diurno e il notturno e l'arancia si difende e diventa rossa. Tante aziende in Sicilia producono succhi concentrati e hanno tanto scarto, questo scarto si chiama pastazzo e in Sicilia se ne produce ogni anno 800.000 tonnellate che vengono interamente gettate. Dentro questo pastazzo, che è uno scarto non comodo perché fermenta, produce calore, vi dirò, una volta un amico me ne portò un cesto, io lo misi in un garage per 2 o 3 giorni, il tempo di organizzarmi in laboratorio. Dopo 2 giorni ho aperto il cesto, c'erano gli esseri viventi, per dirvi che dentro le biomasse c'è vita, dobbiamo solo trovare il modo di trasformarla in energia o utilità. Nel caso specifico di queste biomasse, ognuna ha una meccanica differente che apporta al materiale finale. Una cosa interessante di cui vi volevo parlare è che il discorso dei materiali compositi che vi sto facendo, caricati con le biomasse delle filiere agricole, è un discorso a breve termine, ovvero che si può fare subito. Ed è quello che stiamo facendo in questo momento. Andiamo noi dalle aziende e gli proponiamo di farsi amico un agricoltore o un trasformatore di biomasse vicino, in maniera tale che lui inserisca al suo interno le biomasse suddette. Questo è un programma più a lungo termine. Il polilimonene è un polimero che nel 2000, non giovedì scorso, ma nel 2000, quindi 17 anni fa, all'MIT sono arrivati, a partire da pastazzo con arance californiane, sono arrivati a polistirene, passando dal polilimonene. Il polistirene è la plastica dei bicchieri di plastica, per dire che si può fare, ma c'è necessità solamente di un po' di soldi per far partire l'impianto che mi trasforma il pastazzo in polilimonene. Prima in limonene, poi in polilimonene e poi in polistirene. Sono cose fattibili, si ha la conoscenza, dobbiamo solo investire per farlo. E noi stiamo investendo nelle biomasse per arrivare a un utile che ci permette di sviluppare questi impianti. Questo è un grafico molto interessante, è una scoperta che ho fatto io personalmente. Perché sono qui oggi? Perché nel mio business di prendere le biomasse e mescolarle con materiali termoplastici ho, per caso, nella vita, preso una biomassa che non era stata da nessuno prima d'ora analizzata e l'ho mescolata con un termoplastico. Quando ho depositato il brevetto mi hanno risposto dicendomi già esiste, canapa con materiale termoplastico. E io ho detto ma come? Già esiste. Mi sono andato a guardare gli 8 documenti citati che utilizzavano tutti fibra corta di canapa, perché fino ad allora nessuno aveva differenziato la fibra corta dal canapulo. Il canapulo nella pianta di... Conoscete la pianta di canapa innanzitutto? Nessuno mi risponde. Sì, no? Sì. In Italia eravamo i maggiori produttori al mondo per qualità e i secondi per quantità. La fibra tessile di canapa. La canapa, ok? Quella che poi nel 1937 è stata cominciata a chiamare marijuana, col nome messicano, ok? Benissimo. In Italia eravamo grandi produttori. Io che ho fatto? Ho preso la parte interna del fusto, perché la pianta si può dividere in 3 parti, la parte esterna, la corteccia, la fibra lunga, la parte un po' più interna, la fibra corta, tiglio, e la parte del fusto, potremmo chiamarlo midollo, canapulo. Queste 3 parti sono completamente diverse a livello chimico e nessuno se n'era accorto prima, comunque nessuno aveva fatto prima analisi prima di me. Quando io ho visto questi 8 documenti citati ho visto che tutti usavano la fibra corta. Io ho risposto, io non utilizzo fibra corta. Bene, mi hanno risposto, definisci canapulo. Ho definito per primo in letteratura canapulo e mi hanno chiesto di fare il paragone con la fibra corta. Vedete questo grafico? Questo è uno dei risultati, così per farvi rendere conto di quello che ho fatto. Vedete che ci sono 3 linee, 3 curve, scusate, e ce ne sono 2 sovrapposte. Si vede? Benissimo. Quelle 2 sovrapposte sono una alla matrice vergine e una alla matrice con fibra corta. Matrice in questo caso è polietilene, quindi polietilene con vergine e polietilene con fibra corta. La curva arancione, invece, è la curva con canapulo. Quindi io ho dimostrato che non solo l'aggiunta di canapulo rispetto alla fibra corta dà un prodotto differente, ma lo migliora notevolmente. Questo è il grafico con 20 parti su 100 di matrice e questo 65 parti con 100 di matrice. Abbiamo ora, con una carica più importante, la fibra corta, che è la curva nera, si vede, si comincia a notare, ma il canapulo è un materiale con delle proprietà notevolmente migliorate. Questi sono a livello quantitativo i dettagli che abbiamo migliorato. Vedete, in questo caso abbiamo il polietilene migliorato 163 contro 157, ma più interessante ancora questa tabella dove abbiamo l'LDPE, Low Density Polietilene, additivato di canapulo. Rispetto al tiglio abbiamo dei miglioramenti ancora più importanti. Questo sta a significare che a livello chimico le biomasse non sono la stessa cosa. Quando io sono andato in laboratorio, io ho portato le 2 biomasse, canapulo, fibra corta, mi hanno guardato dicendomi: Giovanni, l'esaminatore vuole una differenza importante, non deve essere... E ho detto: ragazzi, proviamo. Il risultato è stato quello che avete visto. Le applicazioni per questi materiali sono tutte le applicazioni che utilizzano materiali termoplastici da estrusione o da injection molding o da thermoforming. Questi sono i 2 materiali che abbiamo lanciato in commercio, le 2 morfologie di materiale che abbiamo lanciato in commercio. Il materiale è lo stesso, l'abbiamo chiamato hemp bioplastic, semplicemente per un fatto commerciale, ed è diciamo, costituito da amido di mais, PLA, acido polilattico, additivato di canapulo, che gli dà anche un miglioramento di reologia del materiale. Abbiamo prodotto il compound che stiamo lanciando nell'automotive in Giappone e nel packaging in Spagna, e il filamento per stampa 3D perché col compound non si può arrivare direttamente al consumatore. E allora non puoi andare dall'amico, gli dai 1 chilo di compound, gli dici fai le bottiglie, no. Dai all'amico il filamento al massimo e se ha una stampante 3D si fa quello che vuole. Quindi il filamento l'abbiamo creato come mezzo per arrivare più velocemente al consumatore. Questa è una tabella di comparazione con i più comuni materiali termoplastici. Abbiamo acido polilattico, nylon, polivinilcloruro e polipropilene. Vediamo che il modulo di Young, che non è altro che l'indicatore di quanto il materiale oppone resistenza ad essere deformato. Quindi più alto è il modulo di Young, più è alta la resistenza alla deformazione di questo materiale. Quindi abbiamo una buona rigidità mantenendo una buona resistenza allo sforzo rottura. Quindi il canapolo non solo migliora la resistenza allo snervamento del materiale, ma mi migliora anche l'elasticità. E questa cosa com'è possibile? Perché a me mi hanno insegnato che quando si aggiunge una polvere ad un materiale termoplastico, il materiale termoplastico diventa più rigido. Sì, un po' più resistente, ma più rigido. Benissimo, nel caso del canapolo succede una cosa straordinaria, è anche elastico e questo probabilmente è dovuto alla presenza di silicio, che questa è una cosa molto interessante perché il silicio interviene in tante trasformazioni. Questi sono solo alcuni dei prodotti che abbiamo messo a punto per lanciare un po' il materiale a livello comunicativo, strumenti musicali. Abbiamo partecipato alla Design Week in cui era presente una cucina costruita con materiali, in questo caso con canapulo e argilla. Noi abbiamo stampato tutti i pomelli, per esempio. Cioè, le applicazioni sono veramente varie. Questa è una cosa interessante della stampa 3D, PLA, hemp bioplastica e ABS. Vediamo come i layer, questa è una fotografia a 200x, vediamo come i layer nel materiale ABS siano nitidi, non siano fusi tra loro. Il PLA, diciamo, questa fusione la comincia. Nel caso dei materiali caricati, e qui abbiamo l'esempio del materiale canapa, nel caso dei materiali caricati questi layer si fondono più intimamente tra loro creando un legame più forte fra i layer rispetto ai pezzi stampati con materiali non caricati. Quindi le particelle inserite all'interno di questo PLA, di questa matrice, è come se rafforzassero il legame, quindi le proprietà meccaniche del pezzo. Quindi nei pezzi stampati i materiali caricati vanno meglio a livello meccanico. Ma per materiali caricati intendo i materiali che sviluppo con le biomasse. Questo è il motivo per cui abbiamo scelto la stampa 3D come mercato di lancio, perché è un mercato in crescita esponenziale e consumo materiali, innovazione, sta andando a macchia d'olio e ovunque vado arrivano stampanti. Perciò è bene non solo produrre materiali per la stampa 3D, ma produrli in maniera sostenibile. E quindi, ok, PLA, ma diamo un'impronta ancora più biodegradabile, ancora più sostenibile all'utilizzo di materiali. Questo è brevemente il mio percorso, molto brevemente. Il percorso è cominciato volendo inserirmi in un contesto economico. Volevo fare qualcosa, avevo ricevuto una batosta a livello familiare, dovevo esplodere o implodere, fortunatamente sono esploso e ho presentato un'idea che metteva a punto un processo per produrre carta di canapa in Sicilia. Carta di canapa in Sicilia, l'unica azienda che produce carta di canapa, cellulosa di canapa, il semilavorato che si usa per produrre la carta, nel mondo è in Spagna. Lo sapete che tutte le sigarette del mondo, le sigarette, la carta bianca delle sigarette, tutta quella carta, la carta bianca delle sigarette, è carta di canapa? Lo sapevate? Benissimo, adesso lo sapete. Questa carta è prodotta da un'azienda in Spagna che utilizza ogni anno 30.000 tonnellate di fibra corta francese che producono in Francia, che comprano a 30 centesimi chilo franco arrivo, e la utilizzano per produrre questa cellulosa. Questa cellulosa può essere utilizzata per fare carta di elevata qualità, io la volevo utilizzare per far carta in una cartiera in Sicilia, ma il processo non era di mercato. Ero completamente fuori mercato e allora si va avanti, ho messo a punto un vasetto, superato il discorso della cartiera, che era costituito da chitosano. Conoscete il chitosano? È una resina alimentare. Chitosano additivato con acqua ossigenata al 33%, reticolava, gli ho aggiunto della fibra corta di canapa, gli ho aggiunto della polvere dell'Etna, un prodotto bellissimo. La polvere dell'Etna, se non lo sapete, in Sicilia noi la esportiamo come fertilizzante. I cinesi si comprano container di polvere dell'Etna. Ma questa è un'altra storia. Il vasetto era ancora più fuori mercato che la carta. Allora ho messo i remi in barca, ho detto ok, a che punto siamo? Sono partito, ho fatto un bel giro, e quello che ho capito è che dovevo trovare una morfologia di prodotto, non un prodotto. La morfologia di prodotto che era indicata per lo sviluppo e che poteva essere utilizzata in tutti i macchinari del mondo che producevano prodotti termoplastici era il granulo termoplastico. Se poi si riusciva a fare un granulo termoplastico bello, con l'utilizzo delle biomasse, delle piante, e quindi dare un'identità al materiale finale, allora questo era bellissimo. Io ho immaginato per primo i Lego, conoscete tutti i Lego, sapete che sono fatti con acrilonitrile, butadiene e stirene, l'ABS, è la plastica petrolchimica che si utilizza per fare i Lego, ok? L'acrilonitrile, butadiene e stirene è un copolimero che se ci si fornisce energia a questo copolimero, energia sotto forma di calore o luce, questo copolimero rilascia stirenici. Quindi voi immaginate che un Lego nella bocca di un bimbo è pericolo di morte. Quindi la Lego da un po' di anni sta cercando di trovare una soluzione, un polimero poco costoso. Benissimo, l'idea nostra è quella di proporre un catalogo prodotti in maniera tale da fornire al Lego una serie di materiali termoplastici, vegetali, economici, perché messi a punto a partire da biomasse di filiere agricole locali, e quindi se la produzione è in Germania, si va in Germania, si vedono le biomasse che si producono, si fa una raccolta e si producono i colori a secondo delle biomasse, quindi il giallo con l'arancia, il verde col carciofo, il rosso con il figo d'India, eccetera, nel caso siciliano. È solamente un mettere in contatto, mettere in rete, come io sto facendo in Sicilia. Ho tanti amici agricoltori che mi chiamano, ormai sono famosi in Sicilia, mi chiamano e mi mandano, mi utilizzano, in modo per loro è un favore, ma non capiscono che fanno un favore a me, perché mi regalano biomassa che altrimenti avrebbero pagato per smaltire. Questo è un percorso che abbiamo cominciato, in cui siamo esattamente nel core, e stiamo correndo, siamo nella fase in cui stiamo stringendo con dei imprenditori giapponesi per produrre anche in Giappone, nel settore automotive, nelle macchine che girano un po' anche in Europa, e se tutto va bene in un paio di anni riusciremo ad arrivare a quei polimeri di cui vi parlavo all'inizio. Per adesso ci limitiamo a far bella una plastica che altrimenti non porta natura e rappresenta un colore artificiale che non esiste in realtà. I colori li ha inventati la natura e noi questo ce lo ricordiamo, lo sappiamo e vogliamo semplicemente riportare la natura nella quotidianità attraverso i colori delle biomasse. Spero di non avervi annoiato. Questo è il mio team e questa è Canesis. Grazie.
Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa, the head magician, it's a good job title, at the Magic Candy Factory. And we're the world's first 3D printer for candy. And our aim is to bring 3D printed food to the masses in a really fun way through the medium of candy. So, because we've had some amazing speakers already that have talked a little bit about this, I won't go through this slide too much, but I will just give you a little bit of things that mean something to me. 3D printing has been around a long time. Experts have been using it for prototyping and industry, and it's been changing the world behind the scenes long time ago. And I think that obviously everyone agrees the market potential is huge. But the big problem that we have at the moment is that the market is not being tapped for the mainstream consumer. And even some of these technologies that you've already seen earlier today, in Melanie and Jordan's speeches, and that gentleman, I didn't understand much of that, but it seemed interesting. But those are technologies which are being used, again, by professionals mostly, and they're creating a lot of PR. But what our goal at Magic Candy Factory is to actually make 3D printing a mainstream appealing market by making it so easy to use that all that science that's happening in the background is like magic. The age of usability is extremely important for any technology. Our smartphones have been around for much longer than they've been mass adopted, and the reason for the change and the mass adoption of them was the introduction of things like Android and iOS. And that's why every single person in, of course, the first world, but even now in the second and third worlds, has a smartphone, and even people like my mother, who I would say is the most technically challenged person I've ever met, are using them on a daily basis because they have been made so intuitive and so easy to use that that technology is like magic as well. So who am I, and why did I develop a 3D printer for gummy candy? I started my first company when I was 23, and I started my first candy brand, Goody Good Stuff, the world's first vegan gummy candy, when I was 27. And I loved it, and it was amazing. I was a vegetarian for 18 years. I couldn't find any gummy candy without gelatin, so it was important for me. But actually, as I did research, I found out that, the kosher market doesn't eat most gelatins. The halal market doesn't. And also, there's a humongous amount of people growing allergies all over the world that aren't able to eat all this product that's available to the mainstream market. So Goody Good Stuff, which you can see there, was developed to be free from all allergens, to be vegan, to be kosher, to be halal. And it was an extremely exciting journey because until then, I never studied advertising, I never studied product development. I didn't know anything about PR and marketing, and I had to learn it on the go because I spent all of my development fund on developing the flavors and ran out of money. So I basically had to do it all myself. I sold that company in 2015 to a large conglomerate called Cloetta. It was actually the youngest food brand to ever be sold on the food M&A market. And then I joined forces with Katjes, which is a really beautiful family company based in Germany. It's been making candy for over 100 years to develop the Magic Candy Factory. And the reason for this was, as an entrepreneur, I have an overdeveloped sense of empathy. I want to solve problems. I want to say yes to people when they ask me for something. But when you're making mass production on lines like traditional food production is being done, you cannot turn a line on unless you're going to make 100,000 units of the same thing. So when somebody wants something custom, when a market has a special taste profile they want, you better be sure, because making packaging costs 10 grand and you can't even turn the line on unless you're willing to make around about 15 tons of the same flavor. So this was very frustrating to me, and so I wanted to create a system. I didn't know it would be 3D printing that would bring me the solution that would allow the consumer to make something different, special and unique to them every time on demand with no extra cost. I literally had never used a 3D printer up until about 2.5 years ago. I bought loads of them on the internet. I took them apart, put them back together. I read every single 3D printing book available on Amazon. Went to every single expo available worldwide. I went to every maker fair. I joined chat rooms. I talked to people in the maker environment. And with all of that, I was able to bring my first prototype to market in 6 months. And there's a little video of it in a minute. It was absolutely humongous. And it took like 30 minutes to make one candy, and it taught me a lot. So how was Magic born? So that's me, and that's Mr. Facine from Katjes, and that's Mr. Adine. We literally had this magic idea, and then we launched our prototype printer into a store in Berlin in the summer of 2015. God, that seems longer ago than that. And basically, I lived in Berlin and worked in this shop for 3 months so that I could see every face of every consumer. What did they like? What did they want more of? What was too long? What was too fast? What kind of things did they want to design? What did they enjoy the most? What age groups liked it? Did older people like it? Did young kids, were they the only ones that were really keen? And it taught me so much. But the main overall reaction was, wow, this is so cool. But we had a ton of work to do. The printer was too slow. It was far too I guess kind of, well, it was super heavy, it was very, very slow, and the software, the idea that there should be a software app that allows the customer to become the designer was something that we absolutely knew we had to do, but it's not as easy as that. Creating a CAD multiplier combiner with parametric algorithms is super hard, but we've done it now, and if you get a chance, anybody during the day, come and try it. We're making selfies and candies for everybody at the show. I think, what booth is it? C41, C41. Okay, so this is a little video, hopefully. Can we play the video? Yep, there you go, of the first printer. This is it.
People are able to increasingly create products that are customized specifically for them, any occasion or any mood that they might have.
You will have seen in that picture, there was kids touching it. It looked like an iPad app, and that was fake. It was literally a fake app that we designed to judge consumer reaction. So they would like go through a little system, a little series of questions, and then I would get an email telling me what they wanted, and then I would literally have to create the code there in the store. On the launch event, we had such an overwhelming response. I literally didn't speak to a single person. I sat behind a computer the entire night because I was the only person in the store that knew how to do it. So I knew that we had to find a way, if we wanted to launch this globally, to make it easy, not just for the customer, but for our actual retailers to be able to do this with all of the staff in their store. So our system involves a couple of really cool technologies. We have a hardware system which is food safe. This is really important. There are lots of 3D printers that you can throw a paste extruder on and make food with, but if you want to prepare product live in a store and sell it to the consumer directly, you need to make sure that it is a food safe, enclosed, FDA, FSA compliant environment. So this is something that we made sure of, and we worked very closely with a huge amount of people on both this side of the Atlantic and the other to ensure that our system would be compliant with all of these rules. Then we created our software application, which I'm going to show you a bit more about in a minute, but this allows people to combine 3D figures, writing, photographs, images from the internet, drawings, and the system combines all of them together and creates a customized G-code, which has been perfectly sliced, that creates a perfect candy every time in 5 minutes or less. And this is key if we want to get the mainstream market excited about it. And then our ingredient base. So gummy candy is not good for printing. It takes 3 days to dry, a traditional gummy candy recipe. If you put that into a printer, it would make a puddle and it wouldn't be sellable. I'm sure no one would buy it. So we had to develop a special patented blend of ingredients which dry within 5 seconds, which allow us to create layers, towers, the Eiffel Tower, very, very quickly, and that also stay safe for people to eat and enjoy for up to a year after printing. So that was also extremely important. This is what the printer looks like now, and like I said, we have them on display. Please come and have a look. They're beautiful. We focused on this idea of magic is natural because we were not approaching science, we're not approaching academia, we're approaching the mainstream market. And the idea to most of the mainstream market that a cold machine is making my food is not a good idea. So what we focused on was, this idea that it's not even a 3D printer. It's a magical device that allows you to make all of the candies in your imagination. And we use this whole idea that science, when done perfectly, is indistinguishable from magic. That's not perfect quotation from Clark, but you get the idea. And it works really well. I've never seen a single person go, ooh, is that a machine making food? And so that's why we make it look like this, and the reaction has been very good. It weighs only 30 kilos. I check it in my luggage and bring it with me on business trips. I take it to meetings, we take it to events. That was specifically done for that reason. The limit is 32. It's easy to set up, 5 minutes maximum, has only one plug. It never requires cleaning because it's a closed system. You don't ever, the actual candy never touches the printer itself. And it's only 45 centimeters cubed, basically. So again, for a retail environment, this is really important. There are lots of different sizes of stores, and if you want to fit into all of them, you cannot have a humongous device. And then this is our gummy zummy, because the word cartridge is not a food word. No one wants to eat something made from a syringe or a cartridge, so we never, ever use those words. So we trademarked the word gummy zummy. And these gummy zummies are made in our facility, and they are packed, and they are sealed, and they are unrefillable because we want to be able to control the results of every print, and we can do that because we control the material from the source. They come in 8 flavors. We're actually making champagne flavor right now for Christmas. And we also provide things like finishings, which is really nothing to do with 3D printing, but it's about creating retail magic, an enjoyable experience for the customer so they want to do it again. All of the products from Magic Candy are GMO-free, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, soy-free, egg-free, halal, and kosher-friendly. They are based in pectin, and there is absolutely nothing in them that is artificial of any kind. And this is our Magic Design app, and this is obviously evolving all of the time. We literally started this, we launched the Magic Design app at the beginning of, it was May 2016, and this evolves on a daily basis. So these systems are able to operate remotely all over the world, but every single night they all hook into our cloud in the middle of the night, wherever the time zone is for the retailer. It uploads data for us, tells us what are people doing, is the system working well, etc. And then we download any new shapes that we made, we just launched pet selfies. People love these pet selfies. It's crazy, but it's true. And so every single day, more things are being downloaded into the systems around the globe, specifically for the retailers, and it is extremely easy to use. The possibilities are endless. I think that everyone can agree. I think we've all seen some incredible examples of that already from Melanie and from Jordan, but in the medium of candy, I think it's important to talk about that. Food printing is not 100% something that the customer in the main market is warm to. But candy is a perfect starting point. Candy has always been fun colors and shapes. It was very rare to find somebody whose mother made them candy in the kitchen. So to use candy as the first medium to introduce 3D food printing to the world, I think it is a winner, and we've seen that from the reaction in the customers all over the world. So this is our newest thing, which I hope you can do it, yep. The sweet selfie. People take their picture live in the store, and then it is literally printed out immediately, or you see the picture come up on the screen, they pick colors and flavors, and then it prints in 5 minutes or less. And we never intended to do this. If I'm going to be honest, that is not 3D, is it? That is 2.5D at best. But that is what the customer wants. What is more personal than your own face? People absolutely love them. When we were in New York launching with Dylan's Candy Bar, the Fox News presenter came in, they did the news live from the store, and he was like, "Can you make my face?" And I'm like, yeah, we can make your face. So we did it live on the news, and then the next day, what is everybody coming into Dylan's asking for? They're asking for their face. So we had to find a way to do it. And it's not as easy as it sounds. We don't have time to 3D scan people. We don't have time to make sure the lighting is perfect. So we had to create a series of filters and a way to eliminate extra data and backdrop from pictures to create a perfect edible selfie each time. Those were some celebrities making candy. We get invited to go to amazing things. This is some press. I will talk about it in a minute. So this is the last part about the printer. And again, this is really for retail magic. This is not about the technology of 3D printing. But it does show how much people get excited. At the end of every print, when you're doing your design on the iPad app, you get to type in your email address. And inside of the printer, there is a camera. It is code triggered, and it automatically records a time-lapse video of your special candy printing and sends you a link to that. about 2 minutes maximum after you finish your print. So if you made it for someone else, you can show them the magic coming to life. But if you made it for yourself, you can share it on all of your social media. And this is just a screenshot of YouTube just the other day with people all over the world in different locations and all of our global retail partners making magic candy in different flavors, colors, shapes, and renditions. And it is amazing the amount of conversation it creates. It is literally self-perpetuating. So since we launched in our first year, we started our first store in the Dubai Mall in our partner Candylicious. And since then, we now have 25 permanent locations and 10 roaming pop-up store locations. 100 printers are now in the market. And this year, we're launching into John Lewis, UK, across the country, 47 locations. Just last week, I launched New Zealand. We're launching Australia in August, yes, August. And really by the end of this year, we'll be in, I think, 27 countries. And it's really exciting just to see the different reactions from all over the world, but overwhelmingly positive and exciting to see how many people want to be active parts of the creation process and what they buy. We're also launching into theme parks this year, which I'm extremely excited about, but that's all I'm allowed to say. I'm not allowed to say anything else. One of the parts of the business which Jordan touched on that we never expected to actually be part of it is the events industry. You can make custom cake toppings, edible shot glasses. These have turned out to be quite a hit. We did them by accident once, then we had to test them rigorously. And then once we knew that they would hold water, then we actually launched them at Comic-Con last year, backstage with Nerd HQ. And since then, we get orders for thousands of them. It's crazy. But this is a humongous part of the industry, which, because it's entertainment and educational and edible, it kind of creates a perfect fit. This is backstage at Nerd HQ. This is an event we did with Nickelodeon where we took our printer and we did an edible candy photo booth for 3,000 people at their big animation studios launch. This is a massive event we did for the Sheikh in Dubai for the launch of the Gulf food. And then this is just a summary of the press that we've received and the reaction from the world media since we launched. These are places where we've been featured. An overall 4 billion impressions, coverage in 40 countries, 800 online and print features, and 75 TV spots and counting. And the only reason I mention that is because I think the combination of this really awesome technology that is almost a little bit obscure to the mainstream market, and then combine it with candy and create a bit of fun around it, and everybody's all of a sudden like, oh, and it really is working incredible for us. We have never spent in our company's history a penny on advertising. These are the awards that we've won. We've been incredibly lucky and extremely grateful to even be put up for some of these. Most recently, we won the UK Tech Startup of the Year. That was like 2 weeks ago. But I suppose my favorite one is the ISM. That's like the Oscar of candy. And I was extremely proud to bring that home with Catches when we launched the product the first year. And this is my amazing team. We literally have 7 people. We're based in Birmingham, UK. 2 of them are here, Caitlin and Reese. And they have a bunch of candies that they're going to hand out if you guys want at the back at the end. And these are all of our contact details if you have any questions. Please come and make some magic selfies with us later. And thank you so much for your attention. Have a good day.
Hi, how are you? Buongiorno. I always wanted to say that in Italy. Buongiorno, Milano. My name is Gilad. I'm from Israel. I'm the founder of Talking Bread. And I'm just the little black sheep of the family. I'm really not I don't have a 3D printer. We don't have a category, so they put us here. We print on bread. We print on food. We do something very nice. We're going to change the way you look at food today, the way you look at bread especially. So first of all, I want to take a minute and look on the topic of this conference. Do you remember the topic? Anybody of you? Anyone? Okay, it's 3D printers from novelty to a necessity. Did I get it right? Do you really, after you're hearing 4 great speakers, do you really believe that printers, food printers, are a necessity. Can you not do something without them? Can you not manage in your life without them? It's just a little bit irritating question, but we'll get back to it later. First of all, I want to introduce our product. You can see here our images, the images of our products, of the end product. We do machines that turn bread into a media. We created a new platform. We turn bread into platform. You can see here the way we use bread as a platform to communicate between people. Bread is the most basic food that everybody eats every day. But nobody uses it other than eating. And we think we can bring a new idea. We can change something. We can really bring a big change to the market. I can allow myself to say that I can change the world. I can change the world because it's a basic food that everybody touches every day. I can go inside everybody's houses each day and maybe change the way they perceive food, they perceive bread. And I think you'll be a little bit moved after what I'm saying here about bread. First of all, we print on bread. How do we do it? You can see here, I have the cameraman. I need a close-up here on the table. Okay, never mind. I can show you here. I can pass if you want to touch it. This is a pita bread. Came from Israel in Arabic. I speak Hebrew, but this one is in Arabic. Maybe you'll bring peace like this. And we can imprint with heat, using heat only, whatever you like on the bread itself. If you can see, we have a really thin lines, and it's really magic. We're talking about the last magic you saw just here. And when you see it, after we do the imprint on the bread, it doesn't affect it. It doesn't change the smell of it. It doesn't change the taste of it. It doesn't change the texture of it. And it's really, really great. I will try and I'll show you a video then you can see how do we do it. I'm going to show you a 3D presentation. This is the only 3D connected to me in this conference of our great machine. Can you please play the video? You can dance if you want. The music is real good. What you can see here is a large conveyor of the second largest bakery in Israel, called Beerman. Our machine is the big one here. It's 3 meters high. And you can see the tray of the food, of the bread, going under. Now the magic happens. It's a special metal heated, patented imprint device. And as you can see, our difficulties is to recreate something that is unique, and even though the bread has a different height on the same tray, we can still do something and get the same imprint on every piece of bread that is on the tray. We have many uses to our application, to our utilization, and we think I will concentrate here only on 2, because I think we talk about making a difference. I think we have 2 ways using this tool to make a difference. We can go back to the presentation. And I think that there's 2 things that I can change, and I can believe that you will see the way the change is coming to you. First of all, I can use this imprint to educate people. And how is that? My child that you can see here, not this one, this is my neighbor's child. You can see a little guy biting a hamburger bun, is my boy. He doesn't like to eat healthy food. He doesn't like to eat 100% whole wheat bread. He just like the ordinary bread. But I really want him to eat a healthy food. So I usually imprint only 100% whole wheat food bread that I have in my house. So he always chooses the one with the imprint. So in this way, I'm forcing him to eat right, to eat good. Now imagine yourself that you can go to McDonald's and you see the Happy Meal. And inside the Happy Meal, there's a burger with an image, with a figure on it, but only on the 100% whole wheat burger. The other one doesn't get any imprint on it. So even McDonald's can educate people to eat a little better. This is a way, this is one change I think we can make it. I think it's really close, it's not far away, it's really simple. We are there, we have the machines, and it's just a step away. Another thing, we have a way of making food more accessible. We always hearing about the prices going up. Bread is more expensive because people need more food. Food gets more expensive. So how can we deal with that? I think we can use this space as an advertising platform. You can put here ads. Today, when you consume content in the internet, when you want to hear the news, when you want to see the news, nobody these days, at least not I, we're not buying newspapers. We're not paying for the paper, right? And I'm sure most of you don't pay to read the news. You just open your smartphone and look at the news, and there's sometimes some pop-ups that they make you, it's hard to see the news. Why is that? It's because you have ads. Ask Mark Zuckerberg. It's working. The same way, you can use this platform in order to take the price of the bread down. I can even go as far as free. I want you to get the bread for free in order for you to see the ad. And when you eat the bread, I'm sure you're getting it. You cannot make it disappear. It goes exactly to your need. Whoever eats the bread, I think nobody can get away with it. You get the message right exactly where you want it. So after we saw those two lines of making changes through imprints on bread, let's get back to our first question. Do you really think we can change the world? Do you really think it's a necessity? I think so. I think in this way, we can also make it a better world. That will be all. Thank you. You can touch the food here. You can see it. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? If you want to get closer, we are few. I'm the last one, so it's almost ended. And you already heard about 3D printing, which is, there is something missing here, but you can read just the word. I'm Antonio Gagliardi. I'm a fellow in the Future Food Institute and a consultant with some enterprise. I will talk to you about it later. And you already heard about 3D food printing, and you saw different applications of the technology. I just want to remember that all this started from the RepRap projects after the patent of the 3D printing FDM process expired, and is a patent from the 1985. But let's go straight after it. My background is building engineering, and what I want to talk to you about is how to design shapes, because you heard about food 3D printing, so the material, and you can print candies, you can do whatever you want with bread also. You can customize your meal with Bocusini. But the only one real big problem is how you design a shape that you will eat after. So it's an ephemeral shape. What it means, it will finish. And you can't spend more than 1 minute designing something that you will eat after. I made some project about designing complexity inspired by biology. This was an helmet for extreme sports, designed and inspired from the diatomea. Is a microalgae with a really strong structure. I will go straight forward. This was another project from University of Bologna. It was inspired by an ocean creature that have a really strong structure and was inspired by the generation of the shape all around a wire. So it was like a 3D wire developing in the space. not on a flat surface. I don't want to get too complicated. So after my research in complexity and designing algorithms to generate different shapes in a fast way, I arrived to the Food Innovation Program. Was a master and still is. And all around the citizenships, there are also the students from the Food Innovation Program of this year. And we just played with food. And when we are talking about food 3D printing, is playing with food as an artisanal material. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, we played with music and laser cutters, 3D printers, or 4D printers, as we can call the machines you are using to let plants grow. All these using a playful approach, which is design thinking, human-centered, where you can define on the emotional level what a user wants. So it's playful and let you understand fast what you can do about your idea, your problem, and what will be your first, second, third solution. So in the future food ecosystem, I can go straight forward because something is missing, but it's a large ecosystem made out of startups and educational programs for all ages. And we are just playing with the matter of food, from agriculture to the food experience, passing through food manufacturing and distribution and shopping and eating. And this is because, yes, I'm a tech guy and I'm playing with shapes. I'm trying to understand how can I produce a wire in the 3D space, but how can I understand what the user wants? And regarding 3D printing, is just about the community. And the technology got famous just because there was an open source community working and researching on it for years after the patent expired. So those are some of the programs the future food ecosystem is doing. There was also the AgroGeneration event here 2 days ago with WhatsApp. Regarding digital fabrication, what we saw with Talking Bread is just a shift in the industry, in the food industry. It's customizing your production line, basically. And 3D food printing is just the tip of the iceberg of something huge, which is about customizing your production line. And this was just one of the experiments made during the Food Innovation Program, is a plotter to design your own pasta dough, flat pasta dough. I just was really playful with the algorithm on how to design this nonna or grandmother tool to cut your dough. And then things can get more complicated, but I like to see it as a more complex thing. This is inspired by a game for kids, which is the Spyro Diver. It's basically, you saw, or maybe you played with it. It's like a compass moving in the space and designing all different shapes, just changing the ratio and the ray of it. So those are different generations starting from the same equations, just changing some parameter. But what happens when you add the z-axis on the equation? It starts getting something like a spring. And this can remember you 3D printing, which is basically a wire in the space. It's not 3D shaped. It's a curve. So this was my first exploration, trying to understand how can I fast introduce new and different shapes with just one algorithm that anybody can play with it, just as a game. After many shapes, I tried to 3D print some food with it. And the first food I tried was chocolate, obviously, because it's hard. It's really hard to 3D print. And those were some of the results. Those are the different shapes generated by the algorithm inspired by the Spyro driver. It was all the project was inspired by the thing that the chocolate itself is an expensive material and is not really healthy when you get it in real big quantity. So the idea was to 3D print thin surfaces that can envelop the space, so to give you the idea of the volume without a mass. And actually people eating it, like big pieces of chocolate, they were thinking that they were eating something really big and huge and heavy, but actually it was the size of a really small chocolate. Here is a video, and if you can launch it. So, during the Maker Faire 2 years ago, I closed myself in the Officucina, which is a lab in the Food Innovation Program Master, for 1 week with the cold of the AC module, because you need the chocolate to get cooled up during the printing. Starting to understand how the material works, so white chocolate, black chocolate, working with Kelly Angela Lee, which was another student, and she knew how to temperate chocolate, which is something I never heard about, actually, but I learned something. And I love it, like every different object coming up from the algorithm, and was pretty funny. Also, having the tempered chocolate allowed us to store a lot of chocolate to showcase later or to make the experiments later, because it was a slow process made up with a 3D rug printer, customized for chocolate specifically. So still open source 3D printers. I think I can go further. Yeah, the game was also to make springs higher than the normal layer height of a 3D model, 3D printed. And so you can play with the randomness of moving this sakaposhi in the space and allowing it to autonomously self-sorting in the space. So generating different behaviors of the material. It was just a research. Then we showcased the project. She is Kelly Angela Lee. We showcased the project in Google and in different places all around the world. Was really funny. You can see also there is some, here is the laser. Yeah, this one is all balsamic vinegar 3D printed, so jellified actually. And yeah, white chocolate, black chocolate was really good. Going further, after the chocolate, another material that I started to research on with Barilla Company as an external consultant was pasta. This is still tomato, though. Because there are two different words. There is the jellified food or the chocolate, the sweets, and then there is also pasta, which is normally produced like this. So it's a straight extrusion with a cutter, which is just producing a really big amount of pasta. Barilla developed with TNO a 3D printer for pasta, specifically designed for pasta, which is pretty different as a material to thread. And I started working with them 2 years ago, and now we developed different shapes and researching on the materials and how you can develop this system maybe in a restaurant or in a supermarket or at home. Like all the business ideas are open, and I'm still a researcher, so I still cannot talk about the business models. But as a material, it's pretty different from what you already saw in terms of edible materials. Because it's different. It's not gel, and have a different density. We can call it as a high viscosity fluid. So to shape it and modeling it is pretty different. And you can do real 3D printed objects, not just 2D printed as Magic Candy was saying. And this can be a step further now. You can see some of the models we developed. This was the result of an international contest, the first one. The second one just ended, actually. We had 1,800 submissions from designers from all over the world that submitted their model of 3D printed pasta. And was interesting because the concept of pasta can go further and differently from what Italians know as a pasta, like a full dish of pasta, for example. This was cooked by Davide Oldani here in Milano during the Triennale. Was a really interesting recipe. This is a dried piece of pasta. And I want to go further just to end up a little bit on what we can do with 3D printing food. And it's not just 3D printing food, but keep in mind that it's the tip of the iceberg. And you can customize your production line, which is called also Industry 4.0 or whatever. This is the flavor theory. It was the PhD project of Peter Klosse. And it is about trying to find a profile of people in terms of taste in a scientific way. And using those data, we can profile and inspire our 3D models and our recipes of our machines, which is what is missing. Because I can't just model in 3D with a tool my model. I want to customize the ingredients, the nutritional components. And not for everybody can be so funny to stay there in front of a web interface trying to customize your shape. And you don't really want to spend more than some time on it. So if we add some of those data to our biometrical data, such as emotional data, starting from EEG headsets, and anything you're wearing right now, like smartwatches or any smartphone is keeping your data. Using those data and placing them in an algorithm can let the algorithm design and suggest your personal shape with your personal ingredients for the day or for the occasion. And this will be the next research phase, actually, where I want to go. And then there is bioprinting, which is something really interesting. But I don't want to get too complicated. During this year, I was at the same conference last year presenting all those things and these researches. During Maker Faire, the last one here in the European edition, we prototyped a space where makers and design and digital fabrication experts could represent themselves during the Maker Faire to be represented by chefs. So it was kind of a, let's take some chef and let them storytell your tech ideas. And there was like Byflow, which is another 3D printer for food and plastic, and other startups. We bring it all in the food pavilion of Maker Faire, and we let it, I think I can, yeah. They didn't escaped from Guantanamo. They are actually part of a startup, which is Bad Eggs, was our partner during the project. And we prototyped this. What if you let 2 young chefs go around a food pavilion, plenty of technologies and novelties, and trying to let them discover those technologies and use them. So every 2 hours, they had to get back to the kitchen, which is the restaurant of the future, with 2 or 3 technologies that they wanted to mix it together and propose a recipe to the audience. So every people passing by, so families, kids, and students, they developed a lot of different things, interesting, trying to mix like the customized oil production with food 3D printing or chocolate with spirulina, algae. And this was fun because the chefs actually had the amount of expertise about the material itself that every tech guy is missing. For example, they found the spirulina chocolate, which was with a strange metallic taste after the eating part. So they redesigned the gradient of the tasting session, adding some more ingredient to have a chocolate more balanced. It was interesting because this could be an open platform for startups to talk with the community of chefs and develop more their technology, not just based on the market, but based on the expertise of food. Those were some of the startups involved in the food pavilion. And that's pretty much it. If you have any question later, you can find me here. And thank you for your attention, and see you later.